Hi, welcome to the Creative Content Marketer Photo Editing Part 3. The previous two editions of this focused on basic photo editing and some of the basic online photo editors that for free or for a minor charge per month subscription charge, you can use their services to edit photos. With part 3, what we're going to do is get a little bit more advanced, a little bit closer to what Photoshop, the premier photo editing program, has to offer. And one of the programs that I like to use and also recommend as something that you can use if you're not familiar with Photoshop or if you don't want to invest in the whole Photoshop suite is a program called Pixlr. If we take a look at that program, you can see that it's basically set up, if you're familiar with Photoshop, set up similar to how Photoshop is set up. We'll just go over some of the things that it has to offer. And I have a couple of photos opened up here. Now within the brush, you can change the way the brush is presented. You can change the diameter, the spacing, the hardness. So then you get more of a softer approach to it. Let's say if I wanted to mix in something. Say I wanted to make it look like a little bit of a fog or smoke within that. Because I have control over the brush, I can do different effects with the brush. And again, I can play around with the mode. And then if I don't like it again, I can just do undo. Flip the canvas. If you wanted to flip it upside down, you can rotate the canvas. Again, you can always undo it. Now you also have adjustments. So let's say I wanted to change the brightness on it. Give it a little bit of a darker edge to it. The other thing that you can do, and then one layer, you can play around with the modes. You can get some interesting effects by doing that. And then lastly, you have filters. Now you're probably familiar with the filters if you use anything like Instagram, where the filters are already created for you. Now these are the basics of the filters. If you wanted to do something like a blur, you can change the effect of it. Or let's say the picture needs to be images or elements that you want to get. I can select all, copy it, and then paste it onto the picture as another layer. And then we have our little mascot, Banner Bob. Now, one of the things that you can do is you have the select feature. Well, let's say I want to have Banner Bob, but Banner Bob is on a white background, but I don't want the white background. What I can do is I can take the select feature or the select wand, click outside of Bob, and you can see that almost everything outside of him is selected. Now what I can do is I can go in and hold down the shift key and click in that area that didn't get selected and add that to the selection. So now I have everything selected outside of Bob. Now what I want to do is invert the selection. So all it does is select Bob. And then what I can do is hit clear. Oops. And hit clear. And now the white background is gone. So now I select Bob, copy him, Now the other thing you can do is you can also select and change the size of the individual elements. So you can shrink the logo a bit so it's not right up against the edges. bucket is not working, do, as an alternative, just use the paintbrush. So there, basically, I have the picture set, and if I choose to, I can either go with what I have, or I can, again, add more things to the layers. What you do is add some of the different file formats. Yeah. The largest. Bitmap, not a lot of people use bitmap that much anymore. For the most part, you'll either be using JPEG have the option to transfer them out as a PNG. At a full picture, you usually want to go with the JPEG. And here it gives you an estimate of what the size is. Now if you go and again, it depends on how many images you're going out on that web. File size. So you want to have both. So again, you can kind of play around with it and take a look at the images and see and export them out. And again, we had about quality 35, so we had about 49. And then you just choose where you want to export it out and export it out to the desktop. And again, you can do different versions. You can also change the image size too. So if you want something a little bit smaller, half size. Now with Pixlr, it looks like you have to before you do that is change the text size. With Photoshop, you don't have to do that. Now this one, you can actually bump it up a bit in terms of quality because the file size is smaller. So you can go file 902.